Something strange has happened. Actually, nothing strange has happened. We've got the CMF Phone 1, and I think that this has really good potential because it takes you back to the era where phones had replaceable back panels and had access to the interior. Nothing has done something really unique with their phones, and you can see that these are three back plates, which also kind of take you back not only to the Nokia era, but if you look at OnePlus, the first OnePlus phone that we had a replaceable back panel. In fact, we replaced the sandstone back panel for a bamboo back panel, and we still have that phone and the panels, so those work out great. But these have a really interesting design because not only do you have replaceable polycarbonate shells, but then you also have screws that look very industrial, give it a really nice overall look and feel. And then you have this little accessory port which allows you to pop on things like this. This is a stand that you can pop on, screw on to this port right here, and then basically use this as a phone stand. And then you have a card case, so you can screw this on here, and this gives you this MagSafe style sort of attachment for this card holder, which by the way does hold credit cards, cash, whatever you want can be held in there. So that's nice. And this also has a magnetic cover. And then you also have this lanyard holder, and this lanyard, really good quality rope. I actually really like this. And then you also have this clip that goes onto this lanyard holder. So tons of nice accessories, and all of these are really cheap. We'll have prices in the description below. These covers also $14.99 before offers, under $1,000 if you buy at the time of launch. And the phone itself starts at $15,999 for the base variant, and then $17,999 for the one with 8GB plus 128GB of storage. So all of those, again, before offer. So if you have credit cards that are available in the offer, you can actually get this for under 15,000 rupees. And at that price, I think this phone is good. It's not the most impressive phone. It's lacking a few things. The Dimensity 7300 chip that's in here is a little bit questionable. The uneven bezels around the phone are a little bit iffy, but those things aside, I think this phone is promising, and the direction that CMF is taking with smartphones is interesting. And I have to wonder if this will actually cannibalize sales of this phone, which is the 2A, which was recently launched, because one would say that while this has a nice look and feel and all of those things, this seems like a better proposition, especially if you want a more affordable device. So let's quickly talk about some of the specifications of this phone and then decide whether or not this phone is going to be worth your money. So let's quickly get into it. So this has a really nice display. You can see it's a nice and large 6.67-inch Super AMOLED display with LTPS, and this has 120 Hz of refresh rate and 960 Hz of PWM, so pulse width modulation. So you'll not see any flicker on the screen, which is fantastic, especially for a phone in this price category. You also have a really fast touch response of 360 Hz. And then also the screen itself has a near 400 pixels per inch. It's 2400 by 1080 pixels as far as that is concerned. Now, brightness wise, you got 500 to 700 nits of typical brightness, and then 2000 nits of peak brightness, which is only in 1 percentile, so that doesn't really matter. But 700 nits in everyday use, you can push it all the way up to 700 nits yourself, which is excellent. It's an 8-bit display, so that is something that you may want to be a little bit worried about, but not too much. You'll see that most of the wallpapers you find have gradients that go into this dark area because the bottom chin or the bottom bezel is slightly thicker than the rest of the bezels, but it is more or less symmetrical. It doesn't look bad. It's there, but it's not very noticeable. And honestly, with the kind of display this is, with the kind of viewing angles this has, and it's a really nice display. So I'm not really worried about this chin too much, but it does sort of look ugly. The side of the phone is pretty squared off, and the buttons are metallic. And like I said, if you buy these covers, you can replace the color as per your requirement. You pick up the black, it comes with black screws, and then you can pop on a blue or this green. This orange will be in short supply, if at all, as far as I understand, in India, but black, blue and green will be readily available, and you can pick up those cases as well. So that is nice. So a bunch of accessories, making this phone a little more modular, making this phone have a lot more options, a lot more accessories. You don't need to pop on a case on this because if you do damage your back case, you can simply swap it out. Another good thing about this is that if you buy a case, you get this tool, and in itself it looks like a pretty lame tool. It's got a simple flat screwdriver on one side and this SIM ejector tool on the other side, but this is one of the best SIM ejector tools you'll find on any device. It's really nice and has a really good quality pin and is long enough that it will be useful in almost all devices. So just this SIM ejector tool in itself is a good add-on. You get this with the case. So with the case, you will also get some screws, and you also get this back cover that goes onto this accessory port, so you can sort of screw it and close this up if you're not using any accessories. So if you pick up this orange one, you'll get an orange cover. You will also get this same tool. You will also get a pack of screws, which is this. So you'll get these silver screws with the extra cases, and then you will also get a SIM tray, which is corresponding. So you get a set of all of these things, making it easy for you to switch out everything. So if you damage your SIM tray, if you lose your SIM tray, you can buy a new cover, get a SIM tray with that, also get a new cover, change out the back. Very nice. I love this concept, and I think that anyone who buys this phone will be really happy with that concept alone. Now, despite the fact that you can pop open this, the battery still seems not accessible, and they had an opportunity to make the batteries replaceable on this device, and that would have been a huge win. But it does give you easier access to the battery, and you can simply get it serviced much easier. The cost of servicing the battery will be much less. So all of those things sort of weigh in. But I think a huge missed opportunity. Replaceable batteries in 2024 would have been game changers. But the overall design and the concept, absolutely lovely. And then you also have IP52, despite the fact that you can open this up. So splash resistance, some water resistance, and overall good dust resistance makes this phone a pretty good design, overall feel. It's not very heavy as well, extremely comfortable to hold in the hand, rounded off corners. I like the design. Industrial, very cool looking, almost like industrial watches. Some really nice watches have these kind of screws on top, so this looks great. Now let's talk about the specs. Inside is a Dimensity 7300. Now on spec, it's bigger than the 7200, but in performance, it is less, and it has also been sort of power limited by CMF Nothing to give you best optimization for the battery and the performance. So if you look at benchmarks, you're seeing a 650,000 on Antutu, which is lesser than the Dimensity 7200. Also, the kind of cores that you have in there are much older in terms of the design of the core or the architecture of the core. So you're not getting the latest tech, and hence you will see hindrance, especially in graphic intensive applications. The GPU cores very iffy there. But again, for this price, I don't see too many issues, especially if you're buying a phone for around 15,000 rupees. This is a decent enough processor, not the best, definitely not the best, but as an overall package, I think it fits in quite well with the display, with the cameras, all of that. Speaking of the cameras, you do have two camera ports on the back, but this is the first time a company is saying that these are not two cameras, but actually just one camera. So 50 megapixel main camera, it is a Sony sensor. And the second one is just for depth. So nothing else, it is just used for depth perception. So you're using it as a portrait shot camera, or if you want to defocus the background, all of those features are available. And you can capture 4K video on this as well, which I think is a huge win. So the recent OnePlus Nord phone that came out, it doesn't even do 4K. So this at a much cheaper price doing 4K is pretty commendable. Also on the front, you have a 16 megapixel front facing camera, a very tiny in-display punch hole, which also makes it, I think, nice, very less intrusive on the front of the screen. So again, a huge win as far as the cameras go. Also, the cameras do process images quite well. Here are a few samples for you to check out. Now, we've been using this phone for about a week or about 10 days. And in that, we didn't see any kind of slowdown or any kind of lag as far as the usability is concerned. And gaming on this is also pretty decent. So let's look at some gaming samples. And you'll see that mostly gaming performance is good, but it is limited in terms of what you can push in terms of not only resolutions but also frame rates, and that is thanks to the Dimensity 7300. Battery wise, you have a 5000 milliamp hour battery inside, and this phone you can pick up with the bundle charger as well, which is a 33 watt charger, which is specifically designed for this. Inside the box, you do get a pretty standard USB-C to C cable, and this phone does support 33 watts of charging, so that is great. And you do have reverse charging through this port as well. So you have a few variants available for this. The 6128 is going to be the base variant. Again, like I mentioned, it's 15,999 for price of the base variant, and that is before any credit card or bank offers. Then you also have an 8128 variant, which is 17,999 before any bank offers, and then you also have an 8256 variant, which will be $1,000 more. And then the accessories, each of these accessories, whether you pick up the lanyard, the stand, or even this MagSafe case, they're all $799 each, which I think is a fantastic price for these add-ons. And then the cases will be available in the blue and the green. So these two cases will be available with all the accessories that I mentioned earlier. These are 14,999, no, 14,999, not 999. So 1,500 rupees, and that is before offers. So you can get these in bundles. The 33 watt charger also you can pick up as a bundle, which is $799, which I think is a good price for that charger as well, good quality charger. So all of those things are available at the time of this video going live, so you can go check those out. We'll have links in the description for you. Now, this phone is running Nothing OS 2.6, and you get 2 years of software updates, 3 years of security updates as a minimum promise. You might get more than that, but that is a minimum promise. And then you also have support that has been added for things like AirPods. So if you have Apple AirPods, you can see battery life information and some other features that are typically not available on Android devices. That is available as an experimental feature inside this Nothing CMF phone over here. So you can see AirPod support available here. But why would you need that? Because we are also checking out the new Buds Pro from CMF. They have this really nice tactile dial, which we will be checking out. And then we also have this guy, which is the new watch, which I really like because you can sort of remove the bezel and replace it with a circular bezel if you want. And so again, modular is the theme of this release. Whether you pick up a watch, whether you pick up a phone, cases are swappable. So you can get this really nice round case, and then you also have some color options. So you can either pick this sort of light gray, and so you can also swap it out for this space gray sort of gray to give you a darker look. So you can have also this sort of change with you. Again, these straps are also easily modular. We'll be covering all of this. So you can pick up these leather straps in this blue and orange color. You also have the silicone strap. So again, we'll be checking out these accessories in a separate video. What are your thoughts on the design? I absolutely like it. I think it's a good concept for this phone as far as functionality is concerned, as far as giving us something different, especially in this price bracket, because you usually see the same design recycled by different manufacturers. And I think they have done a good job, and the touch feel of these back covers is really nice. Brings you back to a nostalgic era of smartphone design. For a lot of people, it'll not exist because a lot of people never really got to experience those phones, and they started with smartphones. So for them, it'll be a new concept. Hopefully it catches on. I really like it. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially from a durability and basically a sustainability point of view, because you can then hold on to your phone for much longer if just the back case is easily replaceable. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. If you have any questions or queries regarding this phone, you want to drop them below and we'll try and get those answered out for you. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe so that you can check out the other videos as well as they trickle down on our channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.